Right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. So, do you want to give us a little bit of info, a little bit of background on what your question is and what we can help you with today?
Yeah, sure. So, I'm in a Demonslayer. I'm level 236 at the moment. A lot of that, I really don't have like a lot of questions. I more just wanted to support, and this kind of does like two birds with one stone for you, in a way. But recently I just got like to Asfara, right? And I've been killing those spider little dudes.
Yep.
So with familiar cards there, so like, if two familiars have like the same line where it says increase meso drop rate by a small amount or item drop rate by a small amount, do they stack together? Like, what, can I get 60% that way, or do they have to be different lines?
Yeah, we tested it in the beginning, but they don't stack. It's always the bigger percentage of the line that goes through. So I don't know if you've seen the drop rate command that I have. So I basically explained there like what the percentages are for all the familiars and what the lines specifically mean, right? What the numbers are. And then based on those, you will have them appearing. So let's say that you have two familiars, and one is, for example, well, let's take unambiguous one because sometimes there's two options. But let's say you got a increased meso. Let's say you got increased item drop rate by a small amount, right? And let's say that you also have increased item and meso drop rate by a large amount. So what will happen is that first one will just get will do nothing because it only does item drop rate and it does it by 30, but the other one does also item drop rate by 60. So this one will just take precedent.
So then, like, what's the point of having like three familiars that have like IED and boss monster damage if they don't stack?
Because those do stack because they don't show up as buffs on your screen. They're not like replenishing buffs. Yeah. So those do show up, yeah.
So you can only have one familiar that has meso or drop rate on it, and the other ones you can't have anymore? Or if you had like a small and a large, would it work?
So let's say that you have not enough drop rate in your equips to reach the 67% that you need. Right? The 67% that you need to get a 100% chance for a bag. But you do have, let's say, increase item drop rate by a large amount. Now, this will increase the drop rate by 100% of all items, but not for meso, because for familiars, those two are separate. So what you could do is you could equip this one, and if you had this one as well, maybe this 60% will get you to enough meso drop rate, so you can always get a bag. But then the item drop rate part of this one, this 60%, won't be affected because this one will overtake that part. But that way, by equipping those two, you could get 100% item drop rate and 60% meso drop rate, if you needed that. But usually, you know, you're okay with just one, and you can get enough item drop rate from your equips, because item drop rate in equips is not separate for meso and for item. That's just all items.
So then is it better to just go for like a bunch of epic familiars rather than unique?
I think
and just spam it out that way?
Yeah, I think general consensus is probably better to make epics in the beginning until you can get a large item drop rate, so you can get even more cards, right? And then once you have that, just go for uniques to go for boss damage and IED ones, basically.
Okay.
Or large healing, you know, whatever you're looking for.
Because the large healing isn't affected by like what's called like the boss's debuffs, right? Where it's like you can heal for a certain amount of time. That doesn't affect it.
Yeah, you can heal through. And the other thing is also that the since they don't show up as buffs, they stack with each other. So if everyone has a bunch of healings out, you just get like full healing all the time. Although they can synchronize with each other, right? If you enter the map and the timers all sync up, and then all of the healing comes at once. So sometimes, you know, I think it's like next level stuff if you like unsummon your familiars, wait like a few seconds, then resummon them so that they desynchronize with everyone else in the party, so the healing comes in more staggered instead of piled up together.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's like rule of thumb. If the buff shows up in the top right, then you have to be worried about like stacking and interactions, and if it doesn't show up there, then it's just stacking to your heart's content, yeah. That's why you see the boss and the IED. The boss and the IED do have a limit of stacking, but then it'll show up in the window as in red, right? Like if you have the familiars that you want and they're all together, you will see the potentials here. If something wouldn't stack here, it'll show up in red, just like with the badges, if the bonus doesn't apply. So I believe... does anyone remember? I think it's I think it's 120% for boss damage, I think. But, you know, in Reboot, we're not going to get that. But in non-Reboot, that's like a legitimate thing. is where you can go over 120%. So if you had like a 45 and another 45 and a 40, like 10% of that wouldn't apply. That's more, yeah, that we don't really run into those problems in Reboot, but that's the thing. But yeah, that's specifically for familiars, I guess. Do you have any other familiar questions?
No, I'm kind of just getting into it because like before I got to 235, I was just farming on like Earth Spirits, so I couldn't really get familiars.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I got to 235, I kind of gambled a little bit and got my. So now I can like basically one shot the spiders. So I'm kind of just now getting into it. Because yesterday I did a totem there yesterday, and I got what was it, about 160 cards in 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a little bit less XP there than I do Earth Spirits, but when it comes to like all the other older familiar cards I get, I think it's kind of worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So besides that, I think I actually didn't really understand the whole like why some lines weren't counting and why some lines were.
Right.
So
because of the interactions with each other.
Yeah.
But that makes sense now?
And then yeah, that's good.
Okay.
And then so like on the what's it called, for the last 30% we had, I got a lot of my gear to 15 stars. So
Yeah.
I have 11 items at 15 stars at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So like when the 5, 10, 15 happens, will there be a really big stat increase when I go from 15 to 17?
Yeah. It'll be expensive, but yeah, it'll, well, you know, relatively inexpensive compared to doing it off event. But yeah, there'll be a pretty big stat increase, and then of course the main thing that's going to be is a lot of weapon attack increase.
Okay. So I'm probably gonna safeguard it all because I really don't have backups except for the CRA, which I won't safeguard.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else I probably have to safeguard on because I'm not gonna risk it.
Yeah, just 16 to 17. Hopefully you don't have to try like 4 or 5 times. That's always a little bit yikes, but hopefully like 2 or 3 times max. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was feeling lucky that day after I got like, cause I only started with 3 bill, and I basically got 11 items up in like 1.8.
Mm-hmm.
So I got really lucky.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good, yeah.
Well, yeah, my most expensive item only cost 600 mil.
Mm-hmm. And that must have been only like one of them. The other ones must have all been comparatively pretty cheap then.
Yeah, it was the Sweetwater. I did my Sweetwater because I safeguarded every hit on it because I was not willing to lose it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The tattoo.
Everything else went up very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So would there be more gains when it comes to just like going for legendary potential lines on my armor compared to like star forcing, or how does that work when it comes to like being able to go to the next like boss?
Yeah, I mean, there's a balance of stuff. Since everything is already 15, you're like waiting for it, and there is a 5, 10, 15 lined up. I would just say hold it for then and try to get as much as 17. And then, because once you're at 17, that's when you really have to like hard commit and get a lot of backups if you ever want to go past that. So basically, once you hit that 17 wall, you're at a good position to be like, okay, now I'm just going to start, you know, circling back to the potentials and make sure that all the potentials are kind of on point together with it, and maybe look at my flames and kind of bring that on point. And then while you're doing that, you keep doing your weeklies. You keep getting, I don't know where you're at with dropping meso gear, but like you try to keep backups, right? And then as you have a bunch of backups and the potentials and the flames are pretty much done, then you can circle back to the Star Force and then see, okay, where do I have the most backups and where can I push for Star Force now?
Okay. Yeah, because I currently am at 3 lines of meso. And then my black bean mark, I rerolled that yesterday. I did a couple cubes on it. I got another line of drop on that one. So now I have 2 line drop along with 1 line of drop on my inner ability. So I'm at like when I use my familiar and whatever, I'm at 130% drop, including like the vault acquisition potion.
Yep.
And then whenever I do that, I'm also at 1275 meso drop. So I get close to, well, yesterday when I did, I got 250 mil an hour. So I guess that's not incredible, but it's something.
It you know, all the little bits help, and you've got to start somewhere, so it's definitely not bad. So how many lines of meso is that? Is that with 2?
There's also one more. Where'd it go? Oh, hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh,
there it goes.
Yeah, my stream seems to be F. Event ring, right? The awake ring.
Yeah, I have
It's
those.
coming up soon.
Oh, we get another ring from this event?
No, I just mean the one like up top in your inventory.
Coins eventually just slam it on there, like the 100 coin cubes, whatever.
Yep.
But I don't like. Is it better to just like spam those cubes on just to go for meso drop, or like should I use like the event rings for damage rings also?
I would basically just get them to legendary and see what you get, and then let the potential decide what function they get. The only one that's really important is that you want the superior to be part of your boss damage eventually, but that's something that you roll into specifically once you are splitting up your drop and meso set completely from your damage set. So that's basically when you're going full 17, you have full superior set, and you have all of the accessories, and you're looking towards transposing basically. Once all of that stuff is going on at the same time, that's when you also settle the potentials and split between drop meso on one end and damage completely on the other end. So until then, a split set between meso and drop and damage and a little bit of everything is pretty normal. And then the rings having very good base stats, like the event rings, basically saves you all the money of having to go for 17 stars, because they're basically the equivalent of a 17 star. So you don't have to, work on Meister as quickly. You don't have to worry about reinforced ring as quickly, and you can just hold on to the event ring. If it rolls like 21 strength, you might be, okay, I'll keep it. But if you don't have any other rings available to roll for meso and drop, and you're okay with killing everything around your level anyway, it's probably okay to keep rolling just for meso and drop, so that you can settle into the 5 lines of meso, 4 lines and drop first between your accessories, and then once you have that, everything that comes after that, you can roll it specifically for strength.
Okay. That's just, I guess, just like a time thing, I guess.
Yeah, and it's RNG as well. Like, say that the ring immediately rolls like 30% strength. Well, yeah, now you're not going to roll over that, right? Now that's going to be a damage ring. So then maybe you have to grab another ring from somewhere. Probably not a reinforced, right? Counts for the set bonus, so you have to have 4 individual distinct pieces equipped at the same time to get the 4 set, which is what we're trying to get. So the second slot usually gets filled by a Dominator pendant that gets transposed into the Sweetwater pendant.
Oh, it's awkward. Whoops.
It's awkward?
So if because I have a Sweetwater pendant, like started up to 12, can I still transpose onto it, or
yeah, it doesn't matter how strong it already is, you can transpose onto it. Even if it was already like 25, you can still transpose onto it, but you will lose those stats, so the sooner you stop, the better there.
Yes, I got it to 12 because I don't have a backup for that, and I'm not gonna risk it. So how do you transpose it from 140 to 160? Is that through a superior?
Superior?
Like, what's transposing? Is that the same thing as a transfer hammer, where you just transfer it over?
Well, it's a bit different. So transposing is specifically into Sweetwater pieces, and you can do it between, you have a bigger level gap. So transfer hammering past level 100 has to be within 10 levels, but transposing can be up to 20. Is it 20 levels or 19? I don't remember exactly, or 15, something like that. But like basically the 140. Oh no, it has to be at least 20 levels. Yeah. So like a Dominator pendant can transpose into a Sweetwater pendant, and then for the monocle, we would have the Papulatus mark, if you ever get it right from Chaos Papulatus, could transpose into the monocle. The other transposing that people usually do is for dual blade. You can get the Fafnir Katara. That's transpose that one into the Sweetwater one. Basically, transposing does a few things. One is that the flame stats get carried over, and which is different from transfer hammer, right? But since the base items all have flame advantage and the target items of Sweetwater don't, what we do is we aim for a very high flame score on the base item, and then we transfer that onto the target item so that they can get a really good flame and be competitive, basically with the pitch boss pieces, because those are way too rare to get anyway. And they can be competitive in a lot of ways. They get into a higher tier of potential, right? Because they're level 160. You can get easier backups, like easier than Dominators. You can get Dineros, right? And easier than Papulatus marks, you can get Dinero for backups for Monocle. And also in the process of transposing, some of the stats get imprinted onto the item as base stats, which gives them extra bonus stats when you Star Force them afterwards. And we found that the ideal amount of Star Force to transpose at is at 16. That's when you get the best combination of the amount of stats that go onto the item, plus the amount of stars that you can still get on the item to get bonus stats at the higher level tier and end up with the biggest amount of stat and weapon attack, basically.
Do you lose your potential when you transpose?
So you lose the potential, but you keep the tier, but so like it randomly rerolls within the tier.
So if it's unique, it stays unique, but just those things on it change.
Yes, exactly. So if you have a Dominator and there's a DMT, you could already, but you haven't gotten the Flame yet, for example, or you don't have the Dineros yet, you could tier it up at that point, but there's no need to tier it up early. The main thing is get a good Flame on it and get 16 stars on it, and then transpose. But every time you try to transpose, it's a pretty low chance to succeed. You can only try 10 times a day, and it also costs Dineros. So you just want to make sure that you get your Dineros on the road. Are you, how are you doing Commercy right now?
I do CPQ every day. So right now I'm at, what's that? 293 Commercy coins. So like I'm at close to 300 now. Over 300. I do that, and then I had the level 2 boat, like the second boat, and it's at level 3.
Okay.
So it's like I usually if anything I probably do it 3 times a week. I'll do like the solo runs just because I get distracted and just don't do it.
Yeah, it's not a daily that most people are like, oh yes, I can't wait to do Commercy today. That's not.
And like I know there's like a efficient way to do either like for coins or dinero or whatever, or for XP. But I kind of just do like the 5-minute run over and over again just because it's fast.
Yeah, so the thing is, if you're aiming eventually for like endgame stuff, that's where I usually start with like, what are your goals and aspirations for your character? But we kind of like jumped into it. But I don't know how far you're aiming to go with this character. Is it just like smooth and steady progress and eventually maybe Black Mage in a year or two? Or are you like, that's never going to happen for me, I'm okay with like...
So at the moment, like, since like the 30% event we had, I've gone up a 5k stat since then. So I'm kind of just like, I do my dailies every day for all the maps. So I get however many symbols that is. I'm hoping when we do the 5, 10, 15, I can solo Helix by then. I can't really burst it at the moment. I'm not really good with the mechanics. Like I can do the first phase of it pretty fine. Like it just takes a little while. But when it comes to the second phase, I just die out
with a bunch of.
Yeah, I just die out very fast on the second phase. I always get confused when it switches directions and everything. I just kind of just die.
Yeah, you want to stay far enough away so that it doesn't hit you. Because it has a pretty, like, you're talking about the bomb, right? With like the fire around you that inverts you and then hits you for like 99% HP.
Yeah, so I just die out on the second phase most of the time.
Yeah.
And then like I can do what's it called? I can do everything on CRA except for Vellum. I can do all the other 3 bosses. They take a little while. It's not like it's fast, but I can do the other 3 bosses on it. So it's like I'm getting there, a lot stronger than I used to be. So, but eventually I want to be able to just get to where I can solo Damien and Lotus. That's kind of like my goal for the next like 5-6 months.
Okay.
And then, preferably by the end of the year, I'd like to be able to do like, Lucid. I don't know, like I don't really know the stat difference between the two.
I don't know how much you play, but I think you can be way more ambitious with those goals.
I like to aim low, just so like if I pass them, I'm like, okay, next one.
Yeah, but I would start adding some more up because I think with like the general advice here and with like the next 5, 10, 15 and stuff, and just with practice, Lotus and Damien is like on your doorstep, especially if you have access to guild skills. That's like the next thing that you can be doing, basically. Okay.
Is that like, so is that really like there's like a stat limit for that, like a entry, like a stat kind of thing when?
A little bit, but stat is not like the be all end all, right? It's a decent indicator, but it's not the be all end all. It's going to be a little bit of everything together, right? It's it's not really an ideal answer, but everything is interconnected with how strong your entire account is, and stat is one representative number definitely of how well you're doing. For Helix, have you ever tried to cheese it?
Well, like you use your burst, go out, use your burst again, go out?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
No, not really.
Because you have Bane, right? And then like after Bane destroys everything, like you pop a bunch of stuff, you Bane, and then you jump out.
Yeah, Bane over my holy symbol. I'll have to, like, if I go in there, I'll take my holy symbol off and then I'll put Bane on for holy symbol, and then I'll try it, and then if I ever beat it, then I'll just put holy symbol back on when I pop the loot.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know if cheesing it is like temporarily a good thing to do. I mean, I will say I'm not 100% sure on Demonslayer on the range of your demon impact, but the main thing for phase 2 is that you want to stay out of range.
Far left, right?
Yeah, you don't need to be all the way far on the left. Like, if you're all the way on the far left, then he won't do the hand thing either, right? But I think you want to be a little bit closer, like in between the side of the platform and between the portal. That way the red stuff still shouldn't be able to hit you. It only hits like a little bit past the portal. Because when he does the hand, you can also down jump and kill the potatoes on the bottom, right? To make sure that you don't get 5 stacks and die from that, or DC, because that was happening to people until recently.
I was seeing that you could with one of my V Matrix skills, like the little cat thing, you always just spawn that too, and apparently that takes care of all the little guys.
Yeah, does it take care of all of them?
I think it's one side thing. It takes care of one side of them.
One side. Okay, yeah. Yeah, one thing I try to do on my other characters also is if you go in and burst, and then right before the first phase dies, what I like to do is put the true arachnid reflection just on the right side of the middle.
Okay.
Because that can also take care of the potatoes that come. Yeah, and then on the left side, use either the cat or, I don't know, maybe Orthus, or maybe jump down if they're off cooldown. But definitely stay like out of range. And if the hand comes, you can always up jump, right? Just jump right over it. Or tap one of your iframes that you hold for that. You have the Raven and you have the Dark Metamorphosis. Or, you know, if it's like getting too much or you die once or twice, you're like, fuck it. You just go out, wait for your cooldowns, then just go in, burst it with Bane again, right?
Okay. So you just keep on repeating Bane over and over again, basically, because that's just...
Yeah. Well, I mean,
okay.
At this point, the Chin has like the most HP by far, and the second, if you can get through the second one with like a Bane burst, then the gem is like a joke now. Gem used to be like the hardest thing by far because it had so much HP compared to the other pieces. Plus, you had the time limit. And it was like, oh, and then you had to go all the way down to kill the potatoes and go back up, and it was really tricky. But now, if you could do the other parts comparatively, the Jewel is actually very easy in the end.
Because I know my IED is really low, but I don't want to like spend the money on re-rolling anything yet. So I don't saving it all for the 5, 10, 15. So it's like I don't know. Like I feel like if I got more IED, it'd probably be a lot easier. Or if I got like an IED familiar, it'd probably help out too. It's just like a matter of just getting it eventually.
Yeah, we'll look at specifically what we can do in short term and the midterm and the long term to make sure that you can move in that direction and you don't get well, basically that's holding you down from your efficiency of your upgrades now, right? Your full upgrades aren't really efficiently working for you because of the IED missing. And that's going to be more and more an issue as well if you start doing Lotus and Damien. Don't know if you've already tried them, but you probably hit them for very little damage comparatively because a lot of your damage is getting eaten up by the IED missing.
That makes sense.
That's probably why Vellum takes quite a bit longer, I think, than the other 3 door as well, right?
Oh, I can't do Vellum solo. It just... It's either like I'll do fine for like the first like 10 minutes, but then I just start getting like overwhelmed and I'm just like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah, is it the when he does like the green mist stuff, when that stuff starts happening, the snot?
I think it's just focusing for like 20 minutes at a time and just trying not to like get distracted. Because like when I do someone from my guild, we probably do it in like 7, 8 minutes. It's just like when I do it solo, it's just I just get very, it's like distracted over a period of time. I was like, okay, that's enough.
So are you do you find yourself that you get stunned? Because I imagine that your burst, you know, if you like prep all your bursts and you got your Orthus and everything, and you bind him, that you can commit a lot of damage in that short term there. Do you find that he still has like if you do that really big burst in the beginning, how much HP does he still have left after that?
Probably 3/4.
And then yeah, but then every 2 minutes you get like a big burst, right? So after like 2-3 minutes in, you should be like halfway then, no?
I guess that's fair.
Well, I'm trying. I'm not like saying that you're slow, but I'm just trying to figure out if you're saying 10 minutes, or are you like exaggerating a little bit, or is it actually taking you 10 minutes? Because then maybe we need to look at the mechanics a little bit and see how we can help you out to confirm your damage a bit more easily to make sure that you're not in that boss fight for so long. Because one of the things with the mechanics is, you know, eventually if you know them all, you should be able to run out the clock as well. But that being fun or that being easy for you to do, depending on your like attention span, that might be something that we have to address, right?
So I guess IED would make I'd probably be a big change if I had IED. Probably help out a lot with that then.
Yeah, because like Vellum has 200% PDR, right? I'm not sure on the effective ID because you have some in your Demon Impact as well.
I think it's all 30% extra at this point.
And then 20 from the boost node as well, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so 30, 25, 75, 82,
And then I have like the 90% crit.
18, 36. Yeah, so you're like functioning at like 85 versus 200. So you still have like 30% final damage reduction. Yeah, well, I'll just we'll look through everything and see where we can make like minor tweaks to already help you out quite a bit.
Okay.
Critical damage as well. Yeah, we'll look at the do you have your hyper stats in here? Oh,
yeah, that's on character.
Yeah. Under hyper, yeah, I see them. Okay, yeah, we'll look a little bit at everything. Okay.
So the one on the right's like the bossing one, and the one on the left is the just normal mobs.
Yeah, I would hope so, since one has normal monster damage and the other one has boss damage. Otherwise, you would be really messing it up.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, we got that right. You have meso drop rate, small amount, item drop rate, small amount, and item drop rate, small amount. Yeah, nothing crazy yet. Yeah, 15% ID familiars are usually really cool in the beginning because, you know, there's not much value coming out of familiars either way. And if you can get 15% ID lines, preferably 2 of them. You have your second slot enabled, right?
I have 2 slots, yeah. I'm trying to work on the third, it's just...
Yeah, that takes
it's rough.
It's rough, yeah, for sure. It gets easier once you get to like 250, 245 or 250 because then you basically get a few sets for free because there's just like 6 monsters in it from the regular area with no bosses in there whatsoever. So the 245 for Moonbridge, the 250 for Lab, and the 255 for Limina are just completely free. So usually that's the ones you want to wrap up the 10.
Okay.
Or at least 2 of them or something, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm at 6 badges right now. I'm just working on trying to get the Demolisher one. Like, that one's just rough to get.
Yeah, I've got in the familiar command. I've got a little bit of advice on like which badges are easier to get and which ones are a bit harder to get. I don't know if you saw that one. It's like the Starter, Snowflake, Oppressor, Rebel, Mineral, and Line badge. Those are pretty easy to get. Does that sound like the ones you have?
I did them all except for the Mineral.
Yeah, and then
yeah,
Void.
Mineral.
Yeah,
the time one, the time badge I'm almost done with is from doing the quest multiple times. I'm only missing like 2 or 3 on the time badge. I just haven't done it, and then I'm just missing the Demolisher.
Yeah, but those 2 or 3 are probably the area bosses, right?
I think one of them are, and then the other 2 are not.
Okay. Yeah, so like the Void, so that's 245, Labyrinth is 250, Apocalypse is 255, but then the Ocean and the Swamp, do you have both of those?
No.
That's just for Morass and Asphera, basically. So that's just the area one.
Okay.
So that could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then if you can get the time badge, and then I'd probably do like the Sandy badge is decently doable. The Demolisher is the Mariner. Yeah, Sandy badge is the one with the Dio, with the Sand Dude, because he spawns in 2 different maps, and in one map he actually spawns twice. So there's a total of 3 spawns for him.
So like for the Demolisher, is it only the boss from Raina Strait, or is it can you also do the ones from Scrapyard? Do you know, by any chance?
Oh no, those are different. Those are different monster.
Okay, so it's only the one from Raina Strait dungeon. Okay.
Yeah, I ended up getting it after like 180 kills or something, and then I got 2 or 3 more from booster packs after that.
Does drop rate help with that, like getting familiar badges?
Yeah,
or
drop
familiar
rate.
Cards?
Yeah, drop rate helps. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're close on some lines there, maybe be okay with pushing that a little bit.
Yeah, that take time.
Yeah, and once you get like normal drop rate from familiar, for example, sometimes what I would do is take like a Legion drop coupon and then do like 1 coupon's worth, and then if the coupon runs out, go do something else. As long as I felt like it. I mean, the third slot is not as important, but if you feel like you're piling up a lot of familiar cards, for example, then it can help, right? Because then you can put 1 drop rate familiar and then 2 familiars to level up, so you can rank up 2 at a time, and then you can double up your production on epics.
Yeah, that was my issue yesterday. So that's why after I went to those spiders, I had all those cards, and I was trying to level them up, and I was like, crap, like, this takes a while now with only one drop and one on. So.
Yep.
So then, like, when I get them to Epic, like, say they have a bad roll, would I just keep them? Or, like, would I just keep them just for later on, or would I just use them to enhance the next one?
I keep like a few epics in case I want to go and make uniques, and if I get lucky on one, then I can immediately start with the epics and make them up to unique, basically. But after I have like 4 or 5 or something, I just feed them again to the next one, to the next rare.
Okay. Yeah, and then the IED I have on my thing is without like a. That's without any Legion on it too. I just don't have a high Legion yet.
Yeah, you're reading Seth in the chat talking about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to read a little bit of it. Because it's true, like a lot of this stuff, I know like a lot of the stuff I need to work on. It's just a time thing. Like I really don't want to work on the Legion right now because I'm just trying to cap 3 characters a day on coins. So it's like I'm doing my main every day. So I do all the dailies on my main. I do the coin cap, do all my couple bosses, like 5 bosses a day for like the mesos, whatever. And then I go to my Kana, do the coins, and then I go to my Adele and do my coins. After that, I'm kind of just like, okay, I'm a little burnt out. So, and I don't want to like overdo it to where I don't want to play the next day. So I just like kind of just stop after a couple hours.
What's the main reason that you are capping that much?
So I'm trying to get all on my main character, I'm trying to get all things that are not transferable between accounts. So like, so on the main, I'm trying to get all the node stones, which I already bought. I might buy the unit skin, like the unit damage skin for 1,000, but I don't know yet because I know we get one for the Fairy Bros. Day 135.
Yeah, in like June or something. Yeah.
I'm also trying to get all of the symbols if I can, like all the symbol packs. So I'm trying to just like use the main character not for any coins for like potions, and then the other 2 characters I'm using for the potions and cubes since they're transferable.
Let me see potions. Oh yeah, for like the extreme growth potions and that stuff.
Yeah, because I can get up to 60, so I was like, that's probably an easy way. Cause I'm just trying to get I put that on there too. I don't know, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, do we just want to do the just want to look at Legion, like the progression for Legion, and then keep it in the pocket for that for that?
Yeah,
and
sorry.
Yeah. No, yeah, just to make sure that we get through everything, because you said, it's like I don't have many questions, but usually a bunch of stuff just starts popping up as you start talking about it. Yeah, that's pretty normal. But let's keep like a one topic and then make sure that we get everything regarding that topic done, and then jump to the next one.
So regarding the coins, I'm trying to just get all the node symbols, event cubes, and everything that I can get. I know I can get you can get like what, up to like 20-something thousand coins total, with including like the little covert dude, covert guy, whatever you kill.
The Burger Blitz Bonanza thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Bonanza.
So I have all the symbols now. Like I have all 6. So I'm probably gonna use like the selector coupon just to get as far up as high as I can. Or I might just do half and half between Morass and Esfar. I don't know. And then I probably just buy all the other ones just outright.
Yeah, I would just do Esfera as long as it catches up to Morass, and then equalize out. That's usually how I do it, so that they finish around the same time, because they get the same amount of dailies, right?
They're equal right now, because like I got when I got 230, that's right when they had that free 100 selector coupon. And then also a couple weeks later or whatever, I got 233, and then they came out with the 2 free level up potions plus another 100 selector coupon. So I got the 235 and got to put 100 on there instantly. So I think they're both at like, what is it, 6, or one's at 6, one's at 9, whatever. So they're kind of close.
Yeah, well, it's still between like 7 and 9. It's still a decent gap, right? But
yeah, it's 200 stat.
Yeah. Yeah, that also, yeah. and when you're looking at it purely from using the circulators, if you can use it on one that's quicker to level, then you're getting a more bang for your buck in terms of closer to the next arcane power and closer to the next level up, right? Like to the level to the next strength. So I would always look at like Esfera or Morass, and then if Esfera is lower, just full dump into that until it catches up to Morass, and then even them out. And then hopefully Arcana should still, like, even if they temporarily surpass Arcana because of the compensation stuff, Arcana will eventually catch up to them again because of Spirit Savior, right?
I don't like Spirit Savior. I truly hate that mini game.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know.
You get the
It's not
glide though.
fun. I always get caught. I did it yesterday, and I think I got caught like 3 times in a row, and I was like, I'm so done with this.
Yeah, it could be frustrating in the beginning if you're trying to find your way through it. So what kind of skills do you usually use for it?
What do you mean?
Well, if you're like to kill the monsters, to free the spirits, I guess.
You use my concussion normally, or the demon impact, one or the other.
Yeah, because concussion is a pretty big box. I think it can sometimes hit 2 at once. No.
If they're close enough, yeah. Otherwise, no.
Yeah, because if you hit 2 at once, the spirit will double speed up, and if you don't catch the other one, the spirit will be like 1 faster than you are, and that might actually get you into trouble even faster if you're trying to catch all the way up to 5, right?
So is it better just to get like 4 at a time, or is it better to go for 5?
If you think you're gonna get, well, the best would be to go for 5. If you think you're gonna get caught, then it's better to go for the guarantee for 4 than to YOLO the 5, because if you get hit on 5, not only do you lose those 5, you lose half of your shield as well. And if your shield completely depletes, then
Game's over.
yeah, you get kicked out, and then you don't get any points that run, and then there's way more pressure on the other runs, and then with the added pressure, that might cause you more stress and then be more likely to tilt, and then that's like it's like bad juju. I could do it on my Demon Avenger real quick, because we're very similar in the way that we move, right?
With the glide, yeah, it's just hard because like a lot of the time, if I say I'm gliding, if I don't like double jump first, like the little like fast jump, my glide's slower than the guy, so I'll kind of just be like stuck in the air and him just chasing me. I don't really have a blink skill besides like my F key, which like the little chaos lock, whatever.
Yeah, I'll try to not use the. Yeah, you can't use chaos lock in there, right?
No.
And I'll try to not use I'll try to not use dash, because your dash is also has a big end lag, right?
What do you mean? Like the shit like.
Yeah, your dash is like like on a Demon Avenger you could just spam the dash.
Oh yeah, mine's like a little bit of delay between it.
Yeah, a little bit feels like a huge understatement compared to like what Demon Avenger does. Like for Demon Avenger it's like this. Like there is a delay, but like for DS it's way longer than that, right?
Longer than that, yes.
Okay, so I would well, now we're gonna watch a little bit on delay, I guess. So the main thing is that you want to create space between you, right? So you know about the trick with expanding the minimap, right?
No.
So next to the world there's like the green thing. If you click that, it shows you the entire map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that already gives you a better overview on where everything is and where everything is respawning. So right now I think it's best to just like start here. I would like up jump, float. Take that jumper here. And here if you do the glide without the arrow key, you maintain the forward momentum. You see that? See how fast you are? As if you don't use the arrow key.
So now he's the same speed as you at level 4, and then at level 5 he's faster than you, is that what you were saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
So usually when you're going for your 5th one, you kind of want to have it close to the bottom, so you can just go save him instantly.
Yeah, by the time you're 5, it gets really tricky, so you want to have a plan. You want to have a plan on like where do you hand in. So I like handing in from this one, you'll see it in a little bit. Because you could just flash jump and just fall in like that. And he could just never catch up to you, because the main thing is that whenever you hit one, he like pauses and transforms. I forgot how I used to do that.
A little bit of delay helps you. Okay.
Yeah, so that delay, you have to make sure that you use that delay to keep distance between you. Yeah.
And what's the ideal score you go for in this?
So it depends on how many you can autocomplete. So if you can autocomplete 1, ideally you go for 15k on 1 run, and then just skip the second one, and then autocomplete the last one to double up on the 15k. And then that gets you the 30 that you need, right?
Okay. Oh, so you need 30k total?
Yeah, 30k, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there, I finally did the glide correctly.
So if you can cap out, if you can skip 2, then you just go for 10k on 1 run and just complete the other 2 automatically?
Yep.
Okay.
See, that's the speed of the glide. You see that? You see how much because of the
Faster you're
momentum.
going?
Yeah, so I'm not
Yeah,
using the
okay.
arrow key at all. I'm just doing glide and then holding it. And that just lets you go all the way to the other side at full speed. If you use the arrow key, then it goes to regular arrow key speed, which is slower.
So if you just press the glide inside of the arrow key when you're getting catapulted, you keep the speed of the... Okay.
Yeah, you keep the full momentum, yeah.
Wow, that's useful.
Yeah, if I were to use... So you can see, like, if I'm doing it, and then I touch the arrow key, you see me
You go a
slow
little bit
down.
faster.
Well, no, no. If I slow way down. You probably see it on stream right now.
Oh, yep. Okay. Well, yeah. That's a big difference.
And then he catches you basically. Yeah. So you'll want to make sure that you don't do that. Yeah, but I would say just keep practicing because you'll get to the point where you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I ever struggled with this. The main thing is like the tree roots are annoying. So you'll learn your pathing on, and basically just you're already holding the down arrow and the jump arrow when you know you're going to fall onto a root. And you'll know that if you hold like the side arrow, for example, you'll land right on top of the vine, which you don't want, right? You don't want to start climbing vines because then you get stuck and then he catches you. So you'll have to like learn, walk into every mistake 2 or 3 times, but then after a while it'll get so easy and so automatic that you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I ever struggled with this. And it's going to be like, yeah, it's just practice. It's going to be like a minute and a half a day, and for 10 symbols, it's going to be one of your best solid dailies.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like I like the Lachlan one, Lachlan, whatever.
Yep.
I like that one. I'm on floor 50. I kind of just, I don't know if that's good or bad, but.
I think it's a good start. I mean, you have like very strong skills that if you use together, you can get big bursts. But if you stagger them, you can use them to clear your floors more reliably, right?
Yeah, I don't really have an issue getting like doing 50 every day. I just don't know how much harder it scales when like 59 or 60. And it's like if I can do 60 once, you know, awesome. But if like say I get to 59, then I can't complete it. I kind of just wasted all that time getting to 59 and just have to do 60.
Yeah, so one thing is you have the bell skill. Well, you have 4 skills that you can use, right?
Okay, yeah.
You've seen those?
Yeah, but I never use them. I kind of just stack up the points because like...
Yeah, exactly. And once you get the 3k points, the bell costs 300 and it just turns one of the boxes randomly, one of the purple ones into gold immediately. If you start a floor with that immediately and then just can kill the other 2, you get such a big benefit to like, and then you go to, you know, whatever next one was going to go from gold to purple. And if you can stop that one from turning into purple, you basically clear that floor. So if you are ever in a situation where like your burst is down, you can always start with that. And then by the time you get to the point where, oh, I'm getting in trouble, or like they're respawning faster, there's 3 or 4 at the same time, then your buffs should get back up and then you can use that as like a safety net. But I think it's okay to just wait until you make like a decent upgrade or until you get closer to 3,000 points. And then maybe even with guild skills, you know, I don't know what your guild is doing. And then just do that to commit to a climb. And if you do feel like you're in trouble with 60, like I don't know if I can do 60 every day, I would just pop my guild skills for that and make sure that you can do 60 out, 60. Well, you only have to do 60 once, right? And just to guarantee that clear, and then you're getting 180 coins like immediately from the one clear. And you talk to the NPCs, right, for the extra 30. And then you're just out, and then maybe you do some bosses or whatever with the guild skills, and then, you know, because you play enough on a day, the guild skills will come back eventually. You're familiar with the wood posts for teleportation?
The wood post?
Yeah.
Inside the minigame?
Yeah.
I kind of just jump between the floors.
Yeah, so you have every single floor has these little wooden posts that point towards a platform. If you press up there, to teleport you into the door. So you can move around like that.
I'm gonna look. I'll watch real fast.
Yeah. I think here the one is hidden behind the...
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Oh, did not know that. And it just... So instead of jumping up on the ladder every time, I can just go to that.
Yeah, and that'll help you move around way faster. And for some floors, I don't know where you're at with Demonslayer, but it's possible that for some floors you can even just kill while you're on top, and you don't even have to move down. That would make you move even faster, right? Because then you don't even have to worry about...
yeah, like my Demon Cry used to be able to do it, but not anymore. It doesn't do enough damage at the moment. But like I'll use it to drop like one of my summons there, and I'll just like the one like the giant dragon thing. I'll just drop that sometimes, and that clears it out.
Jormungandr, yeah.
So I just drop that, teleport back to the next one, and just do it that way when I have it.
Yeah, you can see how I'm moving around. You have the same mobility, right?
Yeah.
One little thing you can also do is if you manage to hit the ceiling, you can also get to the top platform. So like what I sometimes do, if I'm here, for example, I'll just up jump all the way here, and it'll teleport you to that one as well.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and what I was talking about with the bell, so I have 2 purple ones now, right? If I click the bell, boom, one of them turns, and you can see immediately up top that my purple bar is depleting really quickly. Boom,
And
boom.
changes one.
Yeah.
You can use that once per run, or how does that work?
Yeah, you can use every skill once per run, so you see now after I use it that it's grayed out. Sorry, not per run,
Okay.
but per floor. So next floor here, if I go in, it immediately
you get
becomes
it
clickable again. Boom, I can click it again. Bam, it immediately changes. I kill the middle one as well. Now we're down to 1 purple. Look how quickly it's immediately going down. I kill that one. Boom, only gold. And then
It's like a nice little lifeline.
yeah, exactly. And if it's all gold, what you can do is you can go to the ones that weren't starting purple, because those are the next one that are going to get corrupted. And then you're already holding them, because it's the monsters around the box that corrupt it, right? So if you can kill the monsters, you can stop it from corrupting in the first place. Well, you'll learn to like kind of like, yeah, run ahead of the curve, and you'll learn the timing and be like, okay, well, now if I go to the next one, and I'm standing there waiting, stopping it to spawn, maybe there's 2 other ones that are gonna, or if it takes too long, then 3 other ones might get corrupted at the same time, and now you're still fighting 3, and you're stopping 1, and then you have to leave that one, and then as you're leaving that one, it turns into purple as well, now it goes to 4, right, and then you can kind of cascade into failure, so you also don't want to get too far ahead of it. But that's something that you learn as you're climbing more, and that's mostly once you get like past floor 70 and stuff, because that's when it gets a little bit more dangerous. Like, yeah, like this guy got to level 20 symbol just on floor 70 apparently. Apparently he never did anything past 70. I'm sure if I went in now, I could probably climb all the way up to 90, judging what I just did. But yeah, you're fine where you're at now. But make sure that you have enough points, because if you don't have enough points and you try to climb and you spend a lot of your points and you don't get there, then you have to start saving them up again, right? So it's maybe safer to just get a big extra bunch. And you'll find as well that if you're going into 50 and you're just immediately destroying everything, like without it doing anything for you, then you're probably okay to start trying to climb. And if you can get to like 54 or something without needing to use the skill a single time, then you can start using the clock from there to cheese and get those last floors easily, and then just start doing 60. Because every 10 floors that you clear is an extra symbol a day for the daily.
Yeah, I don't one-shot it yet, so I probably have to wait for that, because it takes me like 7 or 8 hits.
Yeah, well, they also count as bosses, right? So boss damage will also affect them quite a bit.
Oh, I'm guessing you need IED for that then too, I'm guessing?
Yeah, no? But their defense is pretty low, so the IED isn't very efficient there. It's mostly just flat boss damage that will help a lot. So maybe if you're in your dailies and your hyperstats are set to mobbing, that can actually be holding you back a little bit if you're doing Dream Defender.
Did not know that. Okay then.
Yep. So that can help you climb. Yeah, and DS has a great base kit, so should be fine to do that stuff.
All right.
So where were we at? Oh yeah, we were talking about the coins. Event coins. So yeah, and so the other stuff you were trying to buy, you're trying to buy everything. Yeah, so that you could buy the symbols completely with a character, and then buy the potions with all the other characters, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So I think it's what, the 200 a piece. So I need what, 6,000.
Yep.
So
it's not too crazy, right?
No, I think my 2 characters are already at like 1,800 each at the moment. So that's
you got your Sunday doubles, so if you definitely make sure you do those Sundays, yeah, that'll be big.
And I get it. It probably takes me like 20-25 minutes to get the coin capped on each character. Like the adult takes a little bit longer, but the con is really fast. I just have Forsaken activation site too.
Yep.
So it's really easy.
Just stand still in the middle of the map and just Exorcist Charm. Everything gets destroyed around you.
Yeah, it's free.
It's free.
Yeah, because I was getting my familiars there because I couldn't
right.
kill the spiders yet. But then like I popped some buffs and I can basically one-shot the spiders. So now I'm just getting my familiars there from now on.
Oh, are you in? You're in a guild, right? Do you have the critical damage and the regular damage skills maxed?
They only have what's it called? The normal, the far right one and the far left one. They have those two. I don't think that's a critical. I think it's boss damage and just normal damage. I think it is. I'm not entirely sure.
All the way on the right side, it's critical damage.
Yeah, that one, the far right one.
Mm-hmm.
Is that critical? Oh, so yeah, that one, and then the far left one.
Oh, okay. Wait, so they don't take for the guild, the one on the right, the regular damage one?
They don't have enough. We don't have enough points.
Okay. Well, if you can contact your juniors in any way, it's better to max that one over the boss damage one, because since boss damage and regular damage they go into one pile, the second one from the right has more utility because you can also use it when you're mobbing. You can use it to alternate between the critical damage and the regular damage one to stack up, well, not to stack, but to get more damage when you're mobbing so you can have an easier time one-shotting. Because if you alternate between them, they both have half an hour uptime but an hour downtime, so you can have 100% uptime on one of the two by alternating them. And that way you can get to, when you're at a higher level area where you are, where you maybe not quite one-shotting yet, you can get to the point of one-shotting because of that. And then when you're bossing, you can use them together and you get the same effect as if you had the boss damage skill. So the priority is usually the critical damage one, then the regular damage one, then the boss damage, and then IED.
Okay.
Unless your entire guild needs IED, then maybe you take IED before the boss damage, but that's usually the general order for the... Because then you could be using the skill all the time, right? You could have one of the two up when you're mobbing, and you might get better rates at the spiders because of that. Maybe your summons will kill better and stuff, yeah.
I think I got like 30 bill XP every half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, I don't really know if that's good or not. I saw you had like 100 something.
Yeah, I had 100 something. I didn't even, I don't even know what the number was supposed to be there. Probably supposed to be a little bit higher, but I mean, I have a lot of sources going on, right? And that's also with the hyper stats. I've got I put the EXP to 14 or something.
Oh geez, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of put my Morpheus in like the monster damage and then...
Well, you need the arcane power now, right, to be able to kill them quickly. Once your arcane power gets a lot higher, then you can take away from arcane power and put them into bonus EXP instead.
I need double, right? So if it's like 440, I need 880 to do the 100% damage.
You need, so it's 10, 30, and 50% extra for 10, 30, and 50% extra final damage. So 10% over, you could deal 10% extra final damage, 30 and 50. Those are the increments. So like the spiders are 600 map. So if you want to do max damage and take minimum damage plus 50%, so 900, then you're capped out on incoming and outgoing damage.
Oh, I'm getting close then. I'm at 850, I think now. So it's getting close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and especially with the event shop like this, and if you get Esfera and Morass and get Arcana on the way, you should be pretty close, yeah. And then you can start divesting from the... And there's also extra arcane power in the Muto skill, right, that you might be using? And there's
I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
I've I maxed out what did I max out?
EXP?
I did normal monster damage. I did 3 levels into that, and then I did 2 levels into EXP.
Mm-hmm.
And then so this time I'm gonna get my 3rd level in XP, and then I'll probably do buff duration.
I put like 2 in you might probably put 2 in IED and 2 in, like the level 2 is pretty efficient. Like getting one thing to level 2 is the same amount of skill points, right, as getting one thing for level 2 to 3. So I might I would consider like going a bunch of level 2s first and then maxing them out later. Like level 2 boss, right, would be like 3 skill points for 20% boss damage, 20 IED for 3 points.
Was it really 20% IED?
I believe so, yeah. It's 10, 10, right? If you talk to the Muto, it should tell you.
Yeah, I log back in. I'm just focused on this, otherwise I'll get distracted.
Yeah.
It actually might help me then. If I did that, then I'd probably make it easier for me to do Helix.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then it's an easy, quick IED for a few weeks that can carry you over. And then if you get lucky for Helix and get the pieces, then the 30 IED will be able to fill in the gap, right? And that's how you can use temporary items, temporary events really well. Yeah, it's 10, 20, 30 on boss damage, on IED.
Wow.
And EXP 3, 6, 10. Normal monster damage is 10, 20, 30. And then, yeah, like attack is a bit on the low end. HP, you're not going to need. All stat is not really that important. Crit rate, you're not going to need, right? So basically arcane power and then boss damage and IED. I would just get like all of those to level 2 and then go from there.
That makes sense. 20 arcane power probably helps a lot too then.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if you're already at the 30%, right? 30%, 600, 180, 780, you're already at that point. So the next jump is to hit the Is it the 900? Yeah.
Because if that's the case, I can probably just buy those the symbols now, and then probably just push my level up a little bit. Because if I can have 100 symbols, it gets me, I don't know, maybe 2 levels.
If you could do it earlier, yeah, then you can get to the 900, and then you add the guild skills to that for the grinding, and then you're one-tapping very quickly without needing to even actively spend a lot of money on your gear yet, right?
Yeah.
Making all the numbers work for you.
That's just the hard part is the money. It's like, I feel like funding one class is probably the hardest part. Because everyone's like, oh, it's so easy to make mules or whatever. And I'm like, no, the first one just is really rough. I feel like once you get the first one up and going, then making the second and so on are a lot easier.
Especially once you get to the point of like the critical mass of the gear, and then your arcane power and your symbols still keep rolling, and then that keeps scaling you up without needing to work on your gear at all. And then all the money from then on can start going into the secondary and tertiary and whatever characters, and they can get comparatively way stronger than your main can at that point with that same amount of money.
It's kind of gross.
That's when that's going to be really good returns at that point. Okay, so we were going to talk about Legion and stuff, right? And the potions and everything. What are you aiming for Legion? You want to go to 6K?
My first goal is actually get 3K. I think I said by April. I think I put on here by April. I think I said. So like what the plan is, so like with the 60 potions you get. I know I watched your video earlier about the potions you posted or whatever, saying how like if you bonk them, they become super weak, yada yada yada. So like my Mercedes, I don't like the Mercedes class. Because apparently it can be super funded on it for it to be a good class. I don't enjoy it. So I got it 208. It's just gonna chill at 208 till I get the potions to get it to 210. But I'm in no rush for that.
But you got that in the back of your head, right? Like 2 potions are taken account for that. So that's X'd out of the Slurpee coins. Yeah.
I'm actually not gonna use the Slurpee coins for that. I'm probably gonna wait for like a different event for that. In time. Cause I rather get like the chance of getting 10 levels on another character rather than like 1 level for 6 coins or 3 coins, whatever it is.
Sure. Okay.
So my plan with the 60 potions is to get my 0 to 180 and then just do the quest line from 180 to 200.
Sure. Okay.
And then I don't really like playing Aaron or Mechanic, so I probably use some potions on those two.
Aaron's going to be another one that you would go into the Mercedes territory with, right? Where the level 3 link might be really nice as well.
Yeah, I just don't enjoy playing Aaron. Like the Luminous is actually, it's easy to grind with, so I don't mind doing that one. But I'm just not a fan of Aaron.
Okay.
I know a Beast Tamer gives IED, right? Is that the one who gives IED?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, Beast Tamer and the Blaster, I believe. Yeah.
So like, if I don't know if I want to do it or not, but I always could get that to 140. Probably take me like 2 hours, 3 hours maybe. Get it to 140. I might just do that one.
Yeah, people love the bird mode on that apparently.
Is it really that good? Oh,
it's apparently really good. Yeah, you can just fly around and bomb the shit out of the monsters with like the little birds just flying around. Yeah.
Oh well, see, it's just like I gotta see what classes I like to play and what classes I don't like to play.
Yeah, yeah, maybe by that time it becomes really fun and you're like, never mind, I'll just level it and I'll bonk something else.
Because getting like to level 60 is really not really a hard thing.
No.
You know, it's just I just do 2 like the little event quests and 60 is done.
Yep.
And then a lot of them, for the other character, I kind of got to level 100 and I just did the Zakum to like 120. And then I would just grind at somewhere for 120 to 140. But I'm hoping with all the potions though, I can get like, I don't know, like 2600 total Legion.
Yeah, I mean it's the potions and it's just making extra characters, right? Like every extra level 60, that's 60 levels.
Yeah, because I only have 21 characters I'm using at the moment. I haven't like made any more, so I know that's you have those up to 40, right? Is it 40 or 50?
40, yeah. So 19 40? Level 60s is almost another 1.2k.
Yeah, so that's easy 3,000. Just do that.
And then with the bonks, probably 4,000 at that point.
Yeah. So I really don't have an issue getting to the 3,000 mark. It's just like just time at this point because I don't want to get burnt out. That's my main thing.
On top of on top of all the capping, you mean, right? Yeah.
Like that's what I was doing beforehand. Like before the event started, I would like play my main. I would do his dailies, yada yada yada. Then I'd go each account that was level 100, do my normal Zakum, and then I go on a new character, get to level 60, then go back to my main.
Yep. Yeah, trying to maintain that healthy balance between still getting to play your main and not
well, I feel like I get more gains out of it than anything else. Like I don't know, like doing like the quest lines is fun and all, but when you do it like I don't know, 5 or 6 times a week, you're just like, all right, I know Reina straight by heart. I know this Fair Academy by heart. I don't want to do it anymore.
Like holding down the like hotkey the fishing rod to just like catch all the big snappers. You're just holding down.
I just put it in my hotbar at that point, and then like it's still there.
I remember that. Yeah.
I'll be
you have
at
to be like level 185 and still still have the hotkey for the fishing
I'm like,
line.
what the hell is it?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, yeah.
So that's like my plan with that, and then like when I need the coins, I kind of need to save up, like, cause I get like what 60 coins a day just from the my little guys like killing the dragon. On top of the extra 40 I get from the missions, the quest, whatever.
Yeah, 30 I think, right? Like 10 from one, 20 from the other.
Yeah, something like that. So I get like 80, 90 coins a day, like 20 every 24-hour window. So I really don't have a problem getting the coins to level it up. But I guess like I don't know how much it scales, because I think for from rank 4 to rank 5 is like 180 coins, I think it said, or 160, something like that. Yeah. I don't know how hard that scales later on.
If I remember correctly, so every so it goes up a little bit every level, and then when you make a jump past every 2.5k is when you get to put a lot of extra characters in the board. So for like if you go from 2.5 to 3, you get to put 5 extra in instead of 1. And then again, if you go from 5 to 5.5, and then from 7.5 to 8 again. And I think it's the level after that where you suddenly have to spend a lot extra to level up. So when you're going from
like
3 to 3.5, yeah, so 3,500 up, and the 5.5 to 6 are the expensive ones. But if you can always know ahead of time by just talking to the NPC, talking to Dame Appropriation, and then you can talk about rank up the ask or raise Legion rank, and then she'll always tell you how much the next one is, so you can keep that number in mind to be like, okay, I can spend a little bit, but not make sure that I keep that amount so that whenever I get to the next rank, I can immediately upgrade. It seems that my rank 9,000 is 2,300 apparently. There you go.
Don't you have like 100k?
Yeah, I have over 100k, but I mean, it's still a lot of coins, man. Yeah.
Yeah, takes a while to get.
Yeah,
yeah. So like,
you can spend them really quickly if you really want to. You can spend them so fast, but
yeah, I usually save like 280 of them, and I'll kind of just buy 4 wealth coupons just to go grind with a totem with. So like, I only use a totem when I have enough to buy 4 of those, or usually I only do like an hour and a half on each totem. Like I kind of get burnt out after that, so like an hour and a half, I'm like, that's good enough.
That's good value for a totem, honestly, yeah.
So, because after that, I'm kind of just like, okay, I spent an hour and a half doing the same circle, I'm good.
Yeah.
So, but I did like the whole 2 hours yesterday because I was actually excited about the familiars, but.
Yep. And then you level them up, and then you reveal them, and they're garbage.
Yeah, absolute trash.
Typical.
Whatever.
When it comes to Legion and links and stuff, you're familiar with the grid that I have, right? With like the general order that they have.
So I know like when you get to like 3,000, you get like the second border, right, for like the IED and all that stuff. So I know, like you said, like when you get to that point, you put all your rangers in the middle to make a straight line. So like my Mercedes, my Kane, all the green little whatever, you do a straight line with those, and you just put the other ones on the border on the outside.
Yeah, for the new characters, crit rate and crit damage is going to be very important, and that'll make them just get to level 100 in no time, and then you can start scaling up from 3k to 6k very quickly.
Is it worth it though with only the one set of boxes? Is that worth it to even use?
The one set of boxes? No, with the one, with the 2, yeah. Once you get the 3k, I would say, yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, when I maxed out all the boxes there for IED, I only get like 6%, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah, and diminishing returns. Useful. No, for your DA, you'd want to go into IED and crit damage, and then for the mules or for training, you want to go into crit rate and crit damage, right?
Okay. Yeah, so it's just a time thing. That's all it really is. I usually watch all these progression sessions we have for everybody else.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, that's a neat little trick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and until you get to 2k, you're just kind of like, or to 3k, you're just kind of like piling one piece extra at a time, and you don't want to go through the whole process of like optimizing it immediately. But once you get to 3k, bigger grid, lots of extra characters, then I think it's good to take the time to really properly place it and get your efficiency, because you worked hard for it, so might as well capitalize on it.
Well, yeah, because like right now with like the 2k, like when I use my link skills, whatever, on a new character, I can one-shot everything up to level 60 anyways, like for all the missions. So we don't have an issue with that. It's just like I just don't want to grind past that when I can't one-shot stuff, or maybe even 2 or 3. Kind of just takes a while. So I'm like, I'm good. I'll just wait.
Yep. Okay, how are you with the V matrix? Do you feel like you've got a handle on that?
So with my V matrix right now, I have 4 slots for my skills that but I only need 2. So I have there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that I have like for my Demon Impact, Concussion, and Demon Lash. The 4 of those have like it equals out to like 1 for each skill or whatever. But 2 of those are perfect trinodes. It's just I just don't have a high enough level in them, so that's why I have extra. So once I get the 2 perfect ones up to a higher level, I'll get rid of the other 2 that I don't need.
Right. You have 3 concussions, 3 demon impacts, and 3 demon cries now.
Yeah. So like the top right one, the level 10 node, that has both concussion, demon impact, and demon cry, so that one's good. And then the bottom right one, that's level 11, has concussion, demon impact, and demon lash. So that's good. So it's just like I just don't know how important it is to max out demon cry and demon lash, because like if that's the case, then I would have to have a 3rd node with those 2 in it. I just don't know.
I think Demon Lash is important. Demon Cry, I see there's a Demon Cry Infernal Concussion 2nd trio that people go for, so I think they eventually go for 2 sets.
Because Demon Cry gives me like drop rate, XP, and damage and IED or whatever on it when I use it. So like, that's probably why it's important.
You basically you end up making, like in the beginning you have a little bit mix and match with mobbing and bossing, but eventually you make a bossing and a mobbing trio, and then Demon Impact, Demon Lash, and Cerberus Chomp are all 3 important for bossing, and then the other one basically is like a mobbing one, the Infernal Concussion and Demon Cry.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So something you just switch them out whenever, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah, I think so. Imagine when you're bossing, Infernal Concussion, Demon Cry are very important. Like you use Demon Cry for the debuff, right? But not for the damage really. Yeah. So then when you're bossing, you're trying to min-max, you're trying to get Mastama in there, you're trying to get Bane in there, you're trying to get your IED in there from the weapon aura, right? Maybe the knockdown resistance. Like there's a bunch of other stuff that wants to go in there. So then you trim it down to 2.
Yeah, it's just like
yeah, you don't necessarily have a bad setup or anything. It's just redoing the extra line. Well, I think it's fine that you have 2 triplets, right? Because I mean, you end up with 4 with 2 empty spots anyway.
Yeah, so like I know like the 2 in the middle that are both level 9. Let me log in real fast. I'm pretty sure 2 of those I can like just switch out eventually for a different trinode. So I'm pretty sure. No, the bottom right one is Demon Lash.
Yeah, they have Infernal. You gotta look at the one that starts with, right? So you have the 2, the Demon Impact and the Demon Lash one. Those 2 are gonna be your bossing ones. So if you can, yeah. So that's a little unfortunate because they both have the Demon Cry, and one also has the Infernal Concussion. So you want to see if you can get some get some Demon Chomps on there.
Yeah, the one has the Cerberus Chomp on it, but it just has that Infernal Concussion, which kind of ruins it because I don't need a 3rd one. So if I probably should just roll like if I start like spending those node points, I'll probably just do Demon Cry ones and see if I can find a different trinode and just merge this one into it.
Yep. Yeah, like, for everything you open from now on for these 4, I would just hold on to it until you can find like the set of 4 that you eventually want to go for, and then merge them all at the same time so that you have like your ultimate 4 that you're going for. Because the sooner you merge like individual ones in, the more you lock yourself out of options for the other 3.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then you lose on outs, right? And then it becomes, you can get the first one very easily and the second one pretty easily. The 3rd one is like okay, and then the last one becomes like impossible because it has to be like specifically these 3, right? So the sooner, So I would wait a little bit. I would just basically just extract all the ones that don't start with these 4, and then hold all the ones that start with these 4 that are potential tries. So that means that for the Infernal Concussion, Demon Cry, you only need like the Infernal Concussion. The Demon Cry one is already good, right? Because it has Infernal Concussion on it. And then the Infernal Concussion one, you want to have Demon Cry on there, and that's basically the only thing you're looking for. But if they also have some of the other ones that you need, you can use them temporarily to get the levels for the other skill until you move away. Because at this point, I would say, like, for example, Decent Advanced Blessing, it is a little bit out of place here. Because this is your bossing setup, right?
This is just my setup for everything. I just use it for everything.
Use it for everything? Okay. Because I would put I mean, if you were bossing, I would definitely put Bane in there instead of Decent Fawn's Blessing. So much more utility and so much more damage overall and damage output to your kit. I would say definitely. And you have your own built-in bind, so you don't necessarily need Urdanova. Once Urdanova gets like redone in the summer, it'll be really nice to have Urdanova, because then, for example, you could just bind phase 1 Damien, for example, right? Use all of your burst except for Bane, and then go up to 2, use your other bind, Bane him, right? And just immediately blow him up, that kind of stuff. Or for Lotus, bind the both different phases. But for now, you don't need Urdanova. But it would either be the other word, Goddess Blessing, would also be, you know, once you get the node situation figured out, that one will help you a lot with your burst as well. And once Weapon Aura gets leveled up, the uptime actually becomes really high. And it has IED in it as well, so that's going to help you a bit. And it also has final damage in it, and then the chance of doing extra damage whenever it triggers as well. So for bossing, I would look into that one as well. I think even more utility than Mastema. I don't feel like Mastema does much. I don't like it very much as a skill. As a Demon Avenger, it's just one of my many tools in my arsenal. That's just a blunt pool noodle. So.
Like eventually I'll have the open slots for it eventually, you know. It's just until then it's kind of just sitting there stacking. So like I'm not like I don't want to like throw stuff away that I'll eventually use. So if I'll use it eventually, I kind of.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying throw it away for sure. Yeah, for sure.
But it's not like top priority, which makes sense.
But I would but I would definitely throw one of those in instead of Decent Fawn's Blessing right now.
Cause I know the Demon Bane's getting a buff too, and like I know my classes in general is getting a buff soon. Where it's like my blue buff becomes like a toggleable whatever.
Yep.
And then Demon Bane is becoming like a 7-second iframe instead of like the last few seconds.
Yeah, the whole thing just
So that's gonna be a really nice change, and kind of just a 7-second iframe where I can just do whatever.
Yep. Or well, do nothing, like hold down the button, right?
Yeah,
but at least you don't die to shit. Yeah.
That probably make Helix even easier with that thing going.
Oh yeah. You basically just use Bane. Like once you're once at that level, you just walk in, you pop like the Jormungandr, you pop all your skills like outside, you go in, pop down Jormungandr and hold down Bane, and he just blows up.
And that's probably phase 2 and 3 done at the same time, I guess.
Yeah, because I think Jormungandr hits all the way to the top right, it's big enough. And Bane's hitbox is probably massive enough. And if it doesn't kill 3, you just fly up there and hit it like 3 times with Demon Impact, and it'll be dead by that time.
So then is it better to focus on leveling up like my summons like Orthus, Spirit of Rage, and Bane, or is it better to focus on like my tri-nodes first?
I work on the tri-nodes typically until you get to like level 20-ish. Because past that it gets low efficiency, and you're going to be opening nodes regardless, and then when you open nodes you're going to get boost nodes, so they'll slowly level up anyway. So usually I take kind of like foot off the gas when it comes to the boost nodes, because your summons are really strong, and I think Demon Awakening goes up in uptime as well, right? When you have it when you level it, I think. I believe it's either the cooldown or the uptime that changes.
The duration goes longer, yeah.
Yeah. So that is also real. That's always valuable for 5th job.
Because I also
30,
have
36, and it goes all the way
I
up
have 17 buff duration at the moment, so right now it'll last me 45 seconds, plus the 17%. So I don't know if that goes like beforehand or after.
What does it?
I don't know how that works.
Not for Demon Awakening. Buff duration doesn't work on 5th job skills.
Oh no, okay.
If it did, then everyone would go buff duration everywhere, because that would be overpowered as fuck.
So does it affect like my active skills, like in my hyper skills?
It affects, the main reason you want it is because it affects, I think it affects Dark Metamorphosis, and it affects your, the skill, the infinite one, that your skills don't cost any Demon Fury.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Because that's a 4th job one, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Boundless Rage.
Yeah, that one, yeah. It works on that one. So then you have more time where you can just spam everything without needing to worry about the points and everything. Although, you know, once you get better with your character, that's not as important anymore.
I only have to use it whenever I'm, mostly it's when I'm farming. Like, when I get lazy, I just do, like, the Chaos Lock farming some.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But...
Yep, that's mostly what the buff duration comes in, as far as I'm aware. But a specific Demonslayer can definitely correct me in the comment section or something like that.
Let's see. So then for like inner ability, is it better to go for like damage wise, or like we're on B matrix, so hold
Well, no, yeah. Let me know if you're okay with V-Matrix.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just gotta condense it when I can. Like eventually I'll condense it, get it down to 3, maybe 3 nodes instead of 4.
You're gonna end up with 4 regardless. Otherwise, one of your skills is not gonna get double buffed. You could do that, but I don't know what the meta is. I don't know if you're in like the Demonslayer Discord as well.
Yeah, I'm in it.
Yeah, you can ask them there if what people's thoughts are on that. I imagine going for like 1 Demon Cry and 2 concussions and then just like 3 boost noting in. I don't think that would be a huge downside, personally. But you already have like the 9s and the 10s and the 11s, so maybe just like a 3rd skill where they feel like it's kind of nice to throw in there. I don't know if they throw the Raven in there or whatever skill they throw in there as the 3rd one on the 2nd try node, but like I guess you could get some more in-depth Demon Slayer advice from them on how to condense that properly.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Like if I keep 4, because I already have the 2 that give me my main mobbing and bossing skills.
Yep.
So then if I got a different Demon Lash, okay, I see.
Yep.
Huh. So now I see what you mean about being very particular. Because now I like have to get one that doesn't have.
Yeah, because I think Chomp is like a lot of lines, and if it's boosted, it actually becomes a decent part of your... and it has a really big hitbox as well, so it helps you with bosses that fly away, or like Damien is in the air and stuff. You can still keep confirming quite a bit of damage because of the huge hitbox that the Chomp has.
Oh yeah, level 40 it does 20% monster ignored damage, defense, whatever.
Yeah, that's almost all the boost nodes. So that's one of the nice sources of IED that you also get to, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully you can get some familiars with IED that'll help you in the short term.
I'm trying. Whenever I do Toto, I'm just praying I get something decent, but...
Yeah. Are you revealing all of the commons and the rares first?
Not the commons, just the rares. I kind of just use the rares.
Because the commons can also get 15% IED.
Can they really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awkward. I mostly just been sending them right into
Oh yeah. Well, you probably just destroyed 4 of them. No, just from now.
Probably.
Yeah, if you're still looking for the IED, you wanna reveal the commons as well. Yeah. From my experience, it might even be possible that they have a higher chance of getting the lines than the rares. Because the higher you go, the more lines there are all the way up until legendary. And I don't know if it's weighted. Some people swear by it. I'm not sure. But it seems that 15% ID on common is actually pretty decent to get. Like every...
Alright. Yeah, do that then. For sure.
Every 80 to 90 or something, I think I get it.
So then, so if I just get like 1 line of IED on my secondary emblem, that'll probably help out too. That's what, 30%?
Yeah, you have 1 line now, right, on your secondary? Yeah.
No.
No, on the cursed shield?
Oh, yeah, I do.
You have the 30 there, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Legion is not coming in yet. Well, let's see, do we go through everything else? Yeah. Go for Dryland, yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's get specifically into the quips, because we're running into the last 10-12 minutes here. Okay, so short term. Well, we're basically saving for the 5, 10, 15, right? You can that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 items.
Yes. I think 3 of them are at 16, and then the other 8 are at 15.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, your weapon and top and bottom, or at least 2 pieces there. Yeah, and how much is that going to set you back?
I'm trying to. I'm at 2.8 bill right now. I'm gonna go for a 6 bill cash by the time I get to there. By the time the event comes, cause I do like the 7 runs of Maple Tour a day, so that's a bill a week. Ursus every week, so that's what, 90 mil. So 630 mil for that. So that's what, 1.6 already. Say I do 2 totems a week, another. Oh, what is that? 500 mil for 2 hours, so a bill. So that's 2.6 bill a week. And then what, 3 more weeks? So I could probably, I could relatively actually get this 10 bill cash if I actually played, like consistently like that for the next 3 weeks. I could do it. So 10 bill, I probably could do it. I think if I get some, if I don't get like completely bad luck from 16 to 17.
Yeah. We're trying to map 4, 5, 6, 5. Yeah,
But
it
it all
looks like
depends on
7.5 or something's probably your expected cost.
if all my luck is gone though because of the 30%, then no, I probably won't get anything.
Hope not. Hope not.
Cause I got way too lucky because everyone in my guild got like 2 or 3 items of 15, and I'm over here getting 8.
Yeah.
Just one day, 8 items and 3 bill, less than 3 bill. Like okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
If you think that's getting close, then just get everything to 16 first, right? Get that at least that guaranteed star.
yeah, I probably like, I don't know, like part of me wants to just go for like the. I know I need the weapon, the 16 or 17 for sure. So I'll probably do that one first, just because that's probably the biggest like return on my money is getting the weapon to 17.
It's actually the same as the other stuff. It goes by
Is it
level.
really?
Yeah, so it gives you percentage of your attack up to 15, percentage of your base, but then past 15, it just gives you a set number based on your level. The thing that actually gives you the most is a glove, because gloves at certain intervals actually give one more extra attack.
So I should probably do weapon then glove, and I can. Or is there not a specific order I should go in?
I think it's not super important to order, honestly. I would just get them to 17 one at a time, and if you see the money just dwindling and you feel like you're getting low, then just first do all the 15 to 16s guaranteed so you can get those stats, and then try to get some 17s just one at a time.
I see what you're saying. Just what 16 to 17 or 15 to 16 is like what 80 mil I think. Let me see.
Yeah, I just did the numbers, so it should be around 7 to 7.5 bill, I think. It's like your estimate.
So yeah. So it's 60 mil per item.
Oh wait, it might be a little bit more actually, because I don't think I turned on the Star Force. Oh, that was with Safeguard. Yeah, so the other ones are a little bit cheaper even. If you do this one, it should be like closer to 350 to 400. Yeah, so yeah, 7 tops probably. So it should be doable, right?
Yeah, for one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And say I get lucky on a couple pieces too, that'll probably save me some money.
Yeah, because the next thing you want to do is definitely work a little bit on the weapon potential, right? Because that's got a huge.
It's pretty trash.
Yeah. I didn't want to say that, but yeah, based on
it's okay.
Compared to everything
the
else.
The way I did it was so like remember that Neo Core event?
Neo Core, yes, yeah, the red gem thing.
I played then, right, and I kind of got burnt out because I did like 5 or 6 characters a day, so I got really burnt out. I stopped playing. Came back for the DMT. I got everything I could. Like I had like 2 bill. I got I could the legendary, and then that's why all my other stuff is set unique because I just didn't have enough money to get it up. So I really didn't have a lot of cubes to like reroll stuff with. So I kind of just took like
anything that was good and move on to the next one. Yeah.
If it said plus increased damage, I said okay, good enough for now. Let's go to the next item.
Yeah.
So like I feel like if my weapon had like 2 lines of attack and then that one thing of all stat wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
I know my Sweetwater tattoo is really nice, so I think.
Yep. Definitely.
I got lucky on that one. But I know my weapon, emblem, and secondary are kind of all just pretty much trash because they only have like 1 line of each.
Yep. Pretty much 1 line.
Or whatever.
And
none of them have boss damage, or only one has IED, but there's no boss damage, and so if I probably spend like I don't know, I just don't know how unlucky I can get with that, or how lucky I can get with that. Like it could either be, 1 cube for each, or it could be a couple bill for each.
Yeah, it could be a couple bill. Yeah, I think it's pretty standard if you just want 2 like decent useful lines to count at least around 2 bill per item.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, see, that's my issue. Because like at the moment, it's like I can spend 2 bill for some guaranteed upgrades on the 5, 10, 15.
Yeah, I know. I would definitely say like do the 5, 10, 15, get the stuff to 17 first, priority. The second thing I would say is probably look at the accessories and see if you can get some mezzo and drop there pretty quickly. If the next piece in line is like just rare and you have to get it like all the way up, maybe then first go to the WSE, like 1 piece at a time, try to get some more solid lines on there, and then finish up the drop rate set probably.
So like, so the whole point of it is like you're supposed to have like your rings, your amulets, and your earrings all to have meso or drop, correct?
And
so
the Iron Face as well. Iron Face as well. Which is 9 equips, yeah. So and the meso obtained from your equips caps out at 100%, so you get 5. And then you get 4 with drop rate, so that caps out the chance for the meso bags, right? That we talked about, a little bit over 60%. Yep. But it also gives you more chance for nodes, which then translates back to money, of course. And it gives you more flames and cubes from bosses, so you can either use them on this character or you can trickle down to another character. Gets you more soul shards, and it gets you more backups like kind of treasure rings, dominators that you can use for scaling and for fodder for later for other pieces.
I've been I mostly just been slamming like all the cubes I get onto a secondary, just so like if I say I get one good roll, I don't have to like, I don't know. I feel like it kind of be beneficial to have one for mobbing secondary and one for like bossing secondary. So like say I got a secondary that had like just plus damage and plus attack. I feel like it'd be better just to do normal mobbing with. Than say my other one had IED and boss damage.
I get that. I think the way that damage works in Reboot, I don't think that's necessary anymore because of the passive for Reboot change. Because even if you would get like, let's say that you hit a secondary with 2 lines of boss and 1 line of IED, right, which would be really nice for bossing but would just be complete garbage for mobbing. I think because of your node stones and because of your other pieces working together and because of the symbols, you'll still be able to kill the monsters around your level if you hit all those the normal metrics, and it would be kind of like a waste of money to start upgrading a second one. Because the one thing that you would want to go for as a Demon Slayer eventually is go for the Demon Aegis from Damien as a drop. Yeah.
Okay. But
what's it called? Rune Force Shield, right? That one. Yeah, you take 25% more damage from everything, but you get 10% final damage increase from it.
And that's on all your skills, or just in like just in general? Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, 10% final damage. So all of your damage goes up by 10%. But then you take 25% more, including from percentage HP attacks.
Oh, you get a lot less Demon Fury on it though.
Yeah. So you have to get some from your hyperstats, but you'll get more as you get more used to and you get more experience with the bossing. It's enough.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense then.
It's worth, yeah. And then so that's why they typically go for a cooldown skip on your invulnerability as well, so you can have your iframes hopefully come off cooldown a few times every now and then, so you can have more flexibility there to wait for the really big skills that would kill you because you're wearing that shield and immune those instead.
Okay. Yeah, because I know I was reading somewhere that people were saying like if you kept your Dark Metamorphosis at like level 1, it's like a 30-second cooldown. But I was like, whoops, mine's already at level 30, so I couldn't even go back and undo that one.
Oh, you can undo it. You have SP resets, right?
Oh, okay.
You can buy them in cash shop. SP reset.
It gives a lot of damage though. So I guess like I don't know.
Well, the total percentage, if you do like BAs and stuff, you can see what kind of how much damage it does compared to everything that you're doing. And even if you feel like it does a lot now, it might be a decent chunk now, but once you get to like endgame bossing and it does like 1% of your damage versus like having 1% of your damage versus it having more utility and keeping you alive, that's more value there, right?
Oh yeah.
So eventually it gets to that break point, right? But maybe right now it's not as important because of the bosses and the content you're doing.
Yeah, because my other iframe isn't that long of a cooldown. So usually I do the other one first. What's the cooldown on that? It's a 30-second cooldown.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah, it's only a 30-second. So like usually I use the Raven first, and then by the time I actually would need the second iframe, I just use my Dark Metamorphosis, and by the time I use that, usually the Raven's back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
the shield is just basically a suicide shield, so you want to have all your iframes available as much as possible all the time, because then that allows you to use the shield, and that gives you 10% damage decrease on everything, which is way more than what Dark Metamorphosis would do from leveling it, right?
Yeah. And I guess like once the changes happen to Demon Slayer with like the 7-second iframe for Demon Bane or whatever, that's probably make it even more useful to have that shield, since like you have not 3 iframes.
And with Blue Blood, you don't have to worry about all of that stuff. That's just brainless at that point as well.
So that's great. But yeah, so okay.
Dark Meta is pretty close to 10 FD, but compared from level 1 to maxing it, really? Dark Metamorphosis is that much of your damage?
It gives plus 35% damage.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that'd be like specifically asking like Demon Slayers, right? Like what they tried and why they tried it and what their findings were. Because that feels like a very small niche thing, right? Or not small as in like it could be important, but like a very specific one single thing. You can always do that later as well, like just SP reset if you want to.
Trial and error, just seeing how it works.
I bet people are practicing. and trying different setups to see what gives them more utility. And of course, you know, if you have a chance to skip cooldown on your iframes, that you can get lucky there as well. And then, you know, what kind of conclusion do you draw from getting lucky? It's only useful for learning bosses. Once you're experienced, you don't need it. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I guess that makes sense. Like that's why I guess like I was learning how to do Chaos PA was kind of rough, and now it's pretty simple because I learned the boss. So I guess it kind of goes hand in hand with everything.
Yeah, no, you well, once you know the timing for binding and you're strong enough, you just blow them up, right?
Yeah.
Bind them on the opposite color, blow them up. Goodbye.
Set the ID. So kind of backtracking a little bit real fast. I know we don't have much time left.
Yep.
When it comes to transposing, where do you go to do that, anyways?
It's in Commercy. There's an NPC called Pietreno, and he will let you do it.
Is he the guy you buy the stuff from too? That's the same guy?
No, he's in the actual town map, a little bit more to the right. He's got like a hat and is it like a gray brownish beard, I think. Oh, here, I sent you the video on transposing.
Oh, thank you.
I think this character that I'm on actually can still teleport into, but I don't have a rock. Rip. But yeah, it's like close to the door. There's like a teleporter that goes all the way to the right in Commercy, and he's right there. He's called Pietreno. You can't miss him. But I got a video there on transposing as well, so
I'll give it a watch. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the flame score, typically people are looking for like 115-ish for the flame scores. Typically what people try to settle on.
On the Dominator?
Yeah, on the Dominator or on the Pebble out of Smart, because they're like within the same area.
150. So Dominator can actually go up to 115 strength?
Strength equivalent, right? So it could be 115 strength flat, but usually it's a combination of all stat, dex, attack, and strength that adds up to the equivalent of 115 strength.
So like with the 6% like all stat, like is that just +6 or would that be a different like number?
Yeah, there's a different multiplication. I've got the flame video on that as well, so you can kind of tell if you see a flame on any item, you can see if that's how good that is specifically for you, and then it relays it back to the progression grid to see like what kind of flame score are you looking for on pieces. So it'll explain to you like how can you see what a flame score is like roughly, and then what are you really looking for. So that'll help you gauge what is the potential for gains on a certain piece, and that'll help you see, okay, what item do I want to be flaming now, what is giving me the highest efficiency on my flames.
Okay.
Because number one by far is the weapon, but you have a weapon with, I believe, tier 6 attack and tier 4 boss, right? So, and a whole lot of strength as well. So that one is definitely taken care of. So after that, it's usually
like Arcane, but that's a long time from now.
Yeah, Arcane, or the second step would be like the probably the Abzo stuff, especially if you're gonna keep that for a while. Glove is pretty decent. The cape, yeah, it's probably a cape and a shoe could probably get a little bit of a bump. And then once those are like closer to like 85-ish or something, 85, 90 flame score, then you can work on the CRA stuff. Like the pants is really nice, but then the hat and the top can get a nice bump, right? And once those are done, then it's usually the cup after that. Don't know if you.
My cup's actually not. I don't think my cup's that bad actually. It's 40 strength, 4 attack power, and 5% ult stat. So I kind of left that one how it is.
Yep. Well, then after that, it's probably going to be like checking for the Dominator. Although the Dominator is pretty good right now, the way that it is. It's probably going to be fine as like a secondary damage dealer. I would probably start flaming another one if you get another one on the side and start gambling on that one, because this one is like a rough one to have to lose.
Yeah, I haven't gotten anything yet. I have to do it every day.
Yep.
128 or 109 item drop rate, nothing yet. So.
Yep. Once you get more of the drop rate coming in, right, and hopefully you get lucky on a familiar and maybe a Legion coupon here and there to cheese it. Maybe you get some more.
So the large amount's 60%, right? On a familiar, if you got large amount, the drop rate is 60.
If it's large amount of both, if it's large amount of just drop rate, it's 100%.
So is it better to look for one that has both or one that just has one?
Typically the one that has one, because between your invulnerability and between holy symbol and between drop rate on the equips, that should give you plenty of like enough item drop rate, quote unquote, that includes the meso drop rate, right? So that the bags always drop. But then that item drop rate plus the item drop rate from familiar will add to drop rate for everything else. So that will be the optimal that you're looking for, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a hard one to get, so...
It takes a while, yeah?
Yep. Just increase item drop rate on rare is also already pretty good. because that's a similar. That's like a 50% usually, 50 or 60. So that's already a really good line as well. That'll help you out.
Oh. Sorry about my dog.
Hello, doggo.
She's getting upset.
Yeah, she knows you're overtime on the session, so she's letting. She's letting us know.
Bad.
She's letting us know. Alarm, doggo.
Well, I learned a lot, and you know, I learned a lot. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, if you have specific sources or specific things that you still need information on, just check out the commands, and you can ask me or anyone in chat while we're live. We've got a bunch of helpful people who will help you get you on your way. Because we kind of jumped all over the place a little bit, so there might be some topics where it ends up that you actually have more questions on. You can always shoot me like a message on Discord, or I'll probably send you the link to the video first and like check it out, and then usually that answers all your questions. But if you have any follow-up, like more detailed questions, ask me in Discord, or just fire away in the chat whenever we're live, and we'll help you out.
I didn't think I had this many questions to begin with, so it was kind of surprising.
Usually a bunch of stuff, you're like, oh, I think I get everything. And then it's like, oh, wait, how does this exactly work? How does this exactly... Yeah, and before you know it, you're like an hour and a half of questions deep. That's how it goes.
I was like, I only have one or two, just about mostly like familiars and like progression. And now I'm like, oh, crap, okay. Well, I didn't think I went over. Whoops, my bad.
Yeah, there might be... Yeah, before you know it, there's like an hour and a half plus is just gone, but yeah, let me know, and reach out to your guild juniors or whoever's leveling your skills about the damage, so you can use it while mobbing. Maybe they don't even know it, or other people in the guild might be helped with that advice as well, to scale up their training a bit.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I
enjoy
the content.
Yes, you're very welcome. I'll put it on YouTube so you can check it back there as well to see if there's anything you missed. And
you watch it.
Yep. But best of luck. I hope your 5-10-15 goes well. And
I'll let you know.
Yeah, let us know when you're destroying Lotus and Damien, okay?
All right, see you later, man.
All right, good luck. See ya.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. It was a little bit chaotic, but there was a lot of stuff that we went past. If you have any specific questions, leave them in the YouTube comment section. And if you would like one of these sessions, either check the description of the video on how you can request one, or leave a comment that you would like to win, because I give 2 of these sessions away for free every month as well by people who leave comments in the YouTube section. So do that. If you need any of the resources that we went over, any of these things, these are all found by using !commands in my Twitch chat over at twitch.tv/Scardor. And I stream there every day, noon to midnight, or close to that, UTC, every day of the week, Monday through Sunday. So if you have any questions, swing by. As for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.